Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA. Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles. Ew.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Ew.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
You know, did a lot of powerful stuff, because we all know what happened with Corrupt, man. And you also been dabbling in the movies, man, for the last few years, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know you don't have your hands in a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
How you getting all this shit? Look, you?
Huh?
How are you getting all this shit? Every time I turn around, I see, man, you got this cracking, got that cracking. What's the secret, bro?
No sleep. I look for the opportunity. I study and I make sure it ain't gonna backfire. You know, I'm like y'all, man. I'm like, I can tell you, man, I promise you, like eight, I know 8 get inundated with all kind of shit. And sometimes you gotta look through that shit and see what's really right and what's not right. You know what I mean? And I look at it like that, then I try to stay true to my name. And that hurts me a lot, because, you know, it hurts me being Big U, and then it helps me being Big U. But, you know, when I say it hurts me because most people don't want me to be, don't even realize I can read and write. Like, most niggas want me to be just, oh, Big U, he gonna do this, he gonna take that, he gonna do. I'm not taking nothing but what's mine. I'm not going through no door I'm not supposed to go through. But what I am gonna do is hold a man to his word, to a T. If it's supposed to be right, then let that be right.
Man, I called Lee Ford before we started this show, and I was talking to him, and I was telling him, yeah, we about to do a Zoom with Big U. Oh yeah, that's my dog, man. He good, he woo woo. You'll see the difference when you because all I heard about Big U is, oh, Big U is a bully. Big U takes shit. And I seen you on Vlad once before. He told me don't even mention it, but I gotta ask you. You had said there wouldn't be a death row if I was out with Suge. And I'm like, I gotta ask him what he mean by that. Because from my knowledge, you and Suge was fucking with each other.
Yeah, but not before I went to prison.
When you go to prison?
I went to prison in 1991.
Okay, that was right at the beginning.
Yeah, I went to prison in 91.
So you was fucking with him before that?
No, not at all. You gotta remember, man. You gotta remember. My mentality was one of sorts. You know, like, one, he wouldn't have had Corrupt.
Right.
He wouldn't have never had Corrupt. So he wouldn't have had a connection to us on the West Side. 2, you wasn't gonna run through LA in Hollywood and all those parts where I was and where we was running a Compton Piru thing. That's what I mean. And I mean, and because we were strong. I was very strong at that time when I left. And you know what I mean? And unless we had an understanding, and like me, I said it to Suge. Me and Suge used to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't have came out here at that time doing that from out there. You know what I mean? That's just realistically. It's like, wasn't no LA nigga coming to Compton and bouncing up and down Compton Avenue and doing all that. You was gonna have Compton Bloods, Compton Crips, Compton, everybody like hollering. It wasn't no lot of niggas coming from there, coming to LA doing that either, bro. It just wasn't. I'm sorry.
So it was basically respect the territory. You ain't gonna come and just disrupt our spot like you think you own the shit.
The things I heard would have made me focus on him. And the person I was,
come on, man. Hey, I swear to God, I just wanted to know from your point of view because you didn't go into details with Vlad. And my whole thing was like, that would have been, you know, niggas would have had to accept the confrontation. And that's what you're looking for when you're out there gangbanging like that. That confrontation.
Nah, you gotta understand, bro. I was on a whole nother level. I wasn't even no. I was on a. You know, it was. We probably could have been we probably could have been what we was when I came home. You know what I mean? You never know. You just never know. You know what I mean?
Because y'all wound up being actually really real tight, didn't y'all? He wound up looking out for you and everything like that. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like, no, we wound up being, I love him like a brother. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he looked out for you better than he looked out for the ones that was there for him. Shit. I
don't know. And I think people think he looked out for me more than he did because he looked out for me. I didn't want a lot of shit. Like, the reason why I'm not filthy rich to this day is because I don't want to be obligated to niggas. So I didn't get looked out for like niggas thought I was, and it's hard for me to go chase that. The first money I ever got when I got home, more than $30,000, I got it from game. I never got nothing more than that from my brother, but when he helped me with a case. You know what I'm saying? And that was more than that. So I didn't get no money to go make it in the world from him. I never got a dime from him because I didn't want it.
Right.
I got money from games, 310 shoe deal. That was the most money I got. Almost at one time in music, living to this day.
Right.
I never got nothing more than that from anybody in this industry than I got from with Game. And a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I made like around about 300 with that deal with Game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that hit me at the time that people thought I was shining because of Suge. I wasn't. I was shining, you know, no. Now let me take that. He definitely helped me, but to be able to move and do other things I wanted to do and help get my nigga nuts out the sand and stand up a little bit and breathe a little bit and be able to say, no to the world. I know I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Now I'm going to do this. That was Game. That was a Game shoe deal.
So he looked out for you. I saw something, man, I'm real excited about, man, that you got involved with. First, I'm going to tell you about the Hip Hop Uncovered thing. I think it comes out. Does that come out this month?
Yep, on the 12th.
Drop this month.
And that was big, man. And I was, the reason I liked it, man, is because guys like you, Trick, I think they get misunderstood, man, because y'all all good dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I talk to people, y'all almost like mythical figures. But I think it was important for them to talk about you guys because a lot of the stuff that's shaking the music wouldn't be shaking if it wasn't for y'all. How did you get involved in that project?
Again, a Pyru out of Compton came to me, Jimmy Chris, with the idea to do a management show. And it's around about the same time that we always trying to pitch shows and everybody was trying to come up with something, the next Love and Hip Hop. And we was all trying to like shooting, and we dudes was just starting to do podcasts, and we was just all trying to figure out, look, it's time to get behind this camera and not this mic. So he came to me because, like I said, this thing started 4 years ago. We actually started on this 4 years ago. He came to me, asked me to shoot the pilot, and I had owed him because I had shot some stuff when I was trying to do a gang show in his neighborhood, and he had let me shoot over there. And I going around, I did the Treetops, I did Dim, I did all of, and Jimmy Chris, aka Jim Bob, he came to me. So I in kind returned the favor to him. And when I did it, I was like, look, I'm gonna do it, but I needed to look a certain way. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to look a certain way. Along with the message you trying to tell, this is the message I want to tell, and I'll help you do it. So we shot the pilot, and it went out there, went to a bunch of different places. We got a bunch of no's. We got to change this, and we came back, reshot it again. and it was me. It was really just me. And then people was like, man, we don't know who he is. So the people that run hip hop right now, the white people was like, we don't have no idea who Big U is. Like, who is he? Like, what has he done? And I think something happened when we ran into Lightbox, and something happened on the internet or something, and people started talking about my name. I don't know what it was, and then they was like, some of the executives called it, and then they called back and was like, "Oh, did y'all have a party? Well, that's the guy." And then they went on and did it. So he came to the table, and we was in negotiation, and we signed our deal with them for a lesser deal than I would have wanted to take. 3 weeks before Nipsey died. When Nipsey died, we was already locked in the deal. And I was like,
y'all could have got probably quadruple of whatever it is that y'all got going on.
To keep it 100, and I mean not to say it like that, but if I hadn't signed the deal before little bro died, I'd have hit him for a bag. But I mean, it's just like life was. And we had signed that deal. I swear to goodness gracious, I had signed it 3 weeks. Me and Nip was talking about it because Nip wanted to do the documentary on Big U. And Nip was like, I got the people. I'm going to line it up, bro. I'm sitting down with the production company. I'm going to introduce Big U. And woo. And that's why when you see us in the studio on some of it, you see me and him in the studio, we talking about that. We had linked up and we was rolling like, right before he passed, man. The weird thing is, like right before he passed, it was almost like he was in a different place with life and his philosophy. He calling me every morning, I'm for the road down on you. And he come pick me up. You know what I mean? And he was just like, man, yeah, we gonna do this. We finna do it like Top Dog and Kendrick Lamar, bring you back. And I'm like, man, I ain't coming back to manage you, man. And he's like, you got to. And I'm like, what about my old contract? He said, you still got the contract? You gonna be Big U. Who gonna tell you? And I'm like, but, you know what I'm saying? And then it was so that's really how we got on the show. That's how the show started from Jimmy Chris. He came to me. I shot the pilot. Then I got involved. I said, I got to be on the executive side and I got to make it look a certain way. And it ended up being a hella phenomenal project. It started off as a 1 episode and we was going to break all 5 people down. And we ended up luckily getting a really intelligent and involved team, and it's what you see now. Have y'all seen it? Any episodes?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to go tap into it. Like right as soon as we get done with this, we doing it because I saw something about it and I said, when is this coming on? But then you get caught up in life and everything like that. I said, oh, this is actually out already.
Nah, it's not out, man. Look, our episode is episode 1. West Coast episode is 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Episode 3 is to me is like the representation of when y'all come in, when 8 them come in, when Snoop come in, when the West Coast, because it's the East Coast version, and you see that East Coast influence. And then you so the first question on it is, where was you at in 1979? So imagine that being the question. Where were you in 1979? All of us can answer that.
Yeah.
I was at Horseman Middle School. And in 1979, when Rapper's Delight hit, we was all trying to go back home, learn that song, come back, because it was the first rap song we had ever heard. But also in 1979, for me, at Horseman Middle School, was the start of the war between the Crips and the Crips. So when hip-hop hit us, gangbanging like we was finna about to meet was coming. The Crips started fighting the Crips, and the death toll in LA went crazy. And we started seeing a violence we had never seen. And that came with hip hop. And then crack went with hip hop. When crack grew, it went across the country and hip hop went with it around the country. And West Coast hip hop went with crack around the country. West Coast policing, paramilitary policing style with Daryl Gates went across the country. we then became the epicenter of what hip hop looked like for the next 15 years.
Right.
That's some real shit, man.
Finally